If you want to learn how to lose $1 billion a day, keep on listening.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
The goal of any business is to make money. It's the point of their existence. A great many things can alter a business's success. But in 2023, the one thing that kills a business quicker than anything else is politics. The recent backlash against major companies has been a focal point in the news as of late, as Bud Light, InBev, and Target have been hit hard. Target has lost $10 billion in market value over the last 10 days as the popular retailer continues to face backlash over its Pride-themed clothing line. A week ago Wednesday, Target enjoyed its stock valued at $160.96 a share, but following the calls to boycott the Minneapolis-based retailer over its Pride collection, the value plummeted and closed Friday at $138.93 a share. The nearly 14% drop in value of the blue chip stock roughly translates to a $10.1 billion loss in valuation to just $64.2 billion for Target, which is nearly 2,000 stores nationwide. The plummet stands as the retailer's lowest stock price in nearly 3 years. The last time the company saw a drop nearly that big came in 2022 after stocks equalized following an unprecedented surge during the COVID pandemic. It keeps getting worse for Target. Shares fell another 3.66% on Tuesday, making the 8th straight decline and lopping off another $2.4 billion in market cap value, as tracked by Dow Jones. Since the backlash, Target's market value has dropped nearly $13 billion to just $61.77 billion as of Tuesday's closing price. Mid-month, the market value was over $74 billion. It puts the stock on its longest losing streak since November 2018, leaving shares at a fresh 52-week low of $133.88 per share. The reason Target stock dropped in 2018 was because investments in its online business, higher wages in a tight labor market, and price cuts hurt margins, and a big jump in investors ahead of the critical holiday season worried investors. In 2023, the company dropped to this level in record time as backlash against their Pride line. Historically, companies have avoided getting political. Businesses take a big chance by outing their politics, says Kostas Panagolopoulos, a political science professor at New York's Fordham University. They need to weigh the risks against the potential benefits of making such a visible expression of their presence, he says. In 2023, everything that can be politicized is politicized. But why? Much of the blame may be shifted to social media as a phenomenon that makes people feel safe in the anonymity of the online world and thus less inhibited to what they otherwise would be. It goes deeper than that, but that's the best surface level answer. As Target's value drops like a lead balloon, another company, the one who is at the forefront of all this, continues to feel the backlash, one they may not recover from. The sales volume of Bud Light dropped 29.5% in the week ending May 20th as compared to the same period last year, according to data provided by Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ. This data shows the sales revenue dropped 25.7% in the same period. Memorial Day is historically a beer-fueled holiday, but the backlash due to the partnership with Mulvaney has hurt what was once considered the last line of defense for the brand, Memorial Day. Across the country, people are sending in photos of untouched Bud Light sales kiosks, and we here at WCBS have done the same thing, but last week. Let's check out that footage. So here we are at my local Kroger, and as you can see that Bud Light was only $6.99 each for a 24-pack. And here you can see the massive Memorial Day display, which features nothing but Bud Light, mountains of Bud Light that's not selling. And this beer has an expiration date, so eventually this will have to be just chucked out into the trash. Unlike a lot of the toy merchandise we cover, that can sit on the shelves indefinitely because it's plastic, but this beer is made for human consumption, allegedly, and it's not very popular for many, many reasons. This is another section of the same store. As you can see that the discount is only $16.99 for the Miller Lite brand, but you have to pay $7 for this beer, the Bud Light beer, and there's plenty of it. It goes all the way to the back of the display for both Bud Light and Budweiser. The Miller and Coors also is pretty well stocked, but Miller Lite, not as much. Over in the cooler section, you start to see bigger holes of beer. This was shot on Thursday of last week before the holiday weekend. But once you get to the Bud Light section, it's beautiful blue. Luckily, that's my favorite color. But it also means it's a lot of beer that's just going to sit there. Again, we know the discounted price. You get a rebate. It's only $7 for one of these bad boys, but people aren't buying. We made those reasons very clear in the video, but this is the result of the backlash. On the way out of the store, during the including the impulse items like potato chips, candy bars, stuff like that, they have put Bud Light there, which I've worked as a pop distributor. I have not seen a lot of beer in the front door. Here we are at another Kroger where we have the same discounted price. This is across the river, $7 for Bud Light, but it's ample. It's readily available. I wanted you to see this. This is how a beer company can get away without controversy. Beer for humans. We're all humans, and it's beer. And finally, on the way out of the store, I encountered this Bud Light that people have returned. They left it somewhere else, and they didn't want it, so they didn't take it home with them. So for now, this is just small anecdotal evidence, but as we continue to go out into the world, we'll get more information and show you more footage. Be on the lookout for that in the future. And now, back to the video proper. I'll head back out to see how it's changed post-Memorial Day. I'll also talk to some local distributors to hear their accounts. Be on the lookout for that video in the future. So what do you think about all of this? The backlash that these companies are facing is swift and severe. Billions of dollars lost in just a matter of days. $1 billion a day on average in market value. Will they recover? In the case of Target, more than likely they will recover. But Bud Light has a steeper uphill battle because they've alienated their consumer base on a much deeper level. Beyond its partnership with Mulvaney, Bud Light faced criticism for how it viewed its consumer base, as heard in a podcast earlier in the year. People remember marketing faux pas. The Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial, New Coke in general, and a whole lot more are just marketing fails, but the Bud Light partnership with Mulvaney may take the cake as one of the oddest decisions in marketing history, and the result has not been positive. As summer months heat up, beer consumption increases, but for Bud Light, it continues to lower and lower. If the boycott continues into the 4th of July weekend, then this may be the last year of Bud Light. So folks, thank you for watching. As I always say, I went to school for advertising and marketing, so topics like this always fascinate me. But we'll be back next time with more, including some toy videos and some other pop culture related stuff. But in the meantime, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other. Thanks for watching today's video. Yes, it's over, but don't cry because there's more, a lot more from World Class Bullshitters. And there's only one way to get it. Hit that subscribe button below. When you do that, you'll get notifications and updates from World Class Bullshitters every time we go live. Basically, you won't miss anything. And if there's one thing I hate, it's FOMO. But the thing most people hate more than FOMO is fear of missing out on World Class Bullshitters, because there's just some things you can't undo. So folks, do yourselves a favor and never miss anything from World Class Bullshitters. One last thing before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Not for our egos, no, they're big enough as this, but it does help us fight the algorithm here, and well, it's man versus machine, and that's the real fight. But if that's not your battle, that's okay. There's one last way you can help WCBS, and that's going over to shopwcbs.com, picking up a t-shirt, a beer glass, a sweatshirt, a poster, all sorts of ways to back WCBS. The difference between us and other YouTube channels is I'm the artist that makes all this stuff, so if you enjoy art, beyond t-shirts, you can even read our comic books. We got it all. We're called the epitome of pop culture for a reason, and no, again, it's not for our egos. So folks, make sure you're involved with every aspect of World Class Bullshitters, not just for us, but do it for yourself. We're making the change in entertainment everybody out there wants to see. And a special thank you goes out to all of our wonderful patrons who make this content possible. Go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to get involved and help out the channel.